I knew I was missing something. I'm by your side. I know, I know, I know. Do it right. This is the best intro in this game, free. Oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Over and over again. Keep the flame alive. Let's watch the other intro quick. While I tweet out I'm streaming. I know, I know, I know. I hate this intro cause it's not as good as the first one that came right before it. I know, I know, I know. This intro is not as good as the first one. I'm tweeting out that I'm streaming this game for a short time. For a short time. Alright, I tweeted that I am streaming. So let's take this boring intro off. Let's start. Let's begin, shall we? Last time on Tales of Arise. The game loaded up before I could say anything.
Be on your guard.
Wait, where am I supposed to even go? Hold up, let me go to the inn real quick. Guys, I need you guys to heal me.
What do you say we check back in on the Rand?
Let's go. I can craft a strong... Yo! Hold up, what's all these weapons I got right now, bro? Where's the atonement? Oh, the atonement edge is right there. How are these weapons weaker than what I got right now? I might need to go back in there and fight all those monsters just to get all these weapons. What am I missing? A Mantid Claw. Let's go back and grab that Mantid Claw.
Have you guys checked your... This is a true master.
Dohalim, the almighty cook. Mad Drex, nobody's chasing that platinum for this game, bro. The most I'm gonna do is beat every boss in this game before I delete it. Then it's about to get deleted. But no, we're not chasing the plat for this game. It's too uninteresting, bro. This game has too many cutscenes. Like, every time I get bored with this game, it's because they hit me with hours and hours of cutscenes, bro. We're fighting Zygardes. Oh yeah? Y'all wanna dodge me, bro? Take that hard ass knockdown, bro. Smash that fool. Kidnap that fool. Lightning Tiger Brain. Vert Brizzle, what's goody, my nizzle? For chisel. Yeah, bro, I noticed that every time that I play this game, and I forget because I take long breaks from it, but you get hit with cutscene after cutscene after cutscene in this game. Which is cool if you're the type of nigga that loves that in video games. Like, probably my young self would have loved this game and all the cutscenes, but my nigga, I got other games to play. I'm more of a competitive player nowadays, for real.
I won't forgive you.
Take this hard ass knockdown, bro. The hardest of fucking knockdowns.
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Now I'm real mad.
But otherwise, the game's good. I like the combat. Like, after I done unlock all the extra hits that I got in my combo and all the skills, I like the combat. But the freaking cutscenes kill me in this game, though. And honestly, it feels like the conversations and shit that the characters are having, the adventure doesn't feel as adventurous because the camera zooms in so close to Alphen in the overworld, and you don't get to see the characters that are with you in the party. And then the areas are so small to like explore. The exploration's not really there. It's like closed, which I like games that are closed because that means they can optimize how the engine works, the frame rate and all of that. But for RPG, this game is too close. And honestly, I don't know if it's because I'm playing in English and I don't sense the emotions as much as you would in Japanese, but it feels like all these characters are being fake to each other sometimes. Hold the hardest of knockdowns, bro.
It's time to finish this.
Yeah, I feel like I'm watching more cutscenes. Damn, in Yakuza. I've never played any other Yakuza, but hopefully they're good, bro. I can't wait till I play Lost Judgment. By the way, shout outs to my boy Mad Drex. Go check out his last video, bro. The scenes, those cutscenes you had in the video from Judgment got me excited to play Lost Judgment, bro. I just seen a nigga get tossed out a window, Hold on to the remaining piece of the window and bounce back in on some Matrix shit.
That'll bring you down.
Bro, hold this hard ass knockdown. He's dead. Kill him, Law.
Well, am I improving?
Yeah, I'm playing it dub so I don't have to read everything.
Unmatched.
I had no idea.
Nah, I ain't playing the First Judgment, bro. I'm not gonna play that game. I'm playing Lost Judgment. Lost Judgment should be a better game. Judgment looks cool as hell, but I'm not going out of my way. Bro, we got Pokemon Legends Arceus coming out at the end of the month. On the 4th, we got Dying Light coming out. At the end of the month, we got Elden Ring coming out. I don't got time to play all these games, bro. Look at how I'm trying to get through this game, and this game is just extending, keeps on extending itself, bro. But I'm honestly trying to beat this game before going on to Resident Evil 8. Then I got my shiny badge quest that I still gotta do on Pokemon Shining Pearl, which I don't care if I take a year playing that game. Right now I'm on a break from that game since obviously I shiny hunted for a whole almost 300 hours worth of shiny hunting to find my shiny penguin. I got really lucky and found the Starly, the bird that came out 5 times on me that I couldn't catch. It came out within 1,000 encounters again and I could catch it that last time. So I'm happy about that, but I'm not trying to play Judgment right now, bro. I'm probably never gonna play Judgment because Lost Judgment might be another game that's just long. It'll be funner than this game though, cause it's more action oriented. But still, I love action games, bro. Nowadays, I could play a good freaking turn-based RPG, but I'm only gonna be able to play like one RPG a year or every 6 months, bro. After playing Tales, you know I play them fighting games. Horizon Zero Dawn's coming out too, but that one I'm gonna get once it's in the bargain bin, because I didn't like the first one at all.
Now you see what I can do. You're mine. You escape.
I'll stop your movement.
And now stop your life.
Oh, now I'm real mad.
Far enough. This one's mine. Do it. This one's got your name on it.
I forgot I just pre-ordered Horizon. Yeah, see, bro, it's not that I don't like those long games. I just don't got time for long-ass games no more like that. Especially if it's a lot of cutscenes. If I'm enjoying myself with the gameplay a lot, I wouldn't give a fuck. But this game specifically, bro. This game specifically right here, you beat a boss or you get through a little section of gameplay, they hit you with like 5 or 6 long-ass cutscenes, bro. And it's like I'm only gonna be playing either PlayStation 5 games or a Switch game. I'm not gonna play a PS4 game, so I don't feel like playing that First Judgment game. It looks dope, bro, though. From what I seen just in your video last night, bro. Every time I see gameplay of either Judgment or Lost Judgment, I fall more and more in love with that game. Because it just reminds me of the classic games like the Metal Gears, the Dead to Rights, all them classic action games we used to have in the past, bro.
Little help.
Hold this hard ass knockdown. All 4 of y'all can hold it.
I'm on sword lane alpha. Hurricane. I'm going in. Bring him down. Rising Wyvern. Can't get out of this. Support. I'm on a roll now. Take this. Rising Wyvern. Little Rhino. Hurricane thrust. Totally. In an instant.
What's good, bro, Sim?
My turn. I'm not. The enemy wields art too.
You'll soon see about that. I never miss.
Hit that nigga.
Armor won't save you. Try harder. Sword lane alpha. Totally. In an instant.
I can't stand long bloated games anymore. That's true right there, bro. We all got like massive backlogs, bro. Us gamers, we got at least, bro, we got 20 games in the backlog. So it's like, I like a short and concise and fun game rather than a game that niggas could tell, bro, that you grabbed it and you just stretched it out as far as it could to the point where it even lost its fun factor.
Bright and shiny mood.
Yakuza isn't as long as Tales of Arise, but when it gets to the end, them cutscenes are long. Those long cut central games, I just watch those like a movie on YouTube. Happy New Year! Everybody else have an epic 2022, Brosib. You, Brosib, everybody that's in here. And by the way, guys, I see 3 of you in the chat, but I only see 1 like button being smacked. So go ahead and smack that like button, bro. You know that's what YouTube likes to see. It thinks we got something magical going on. Once it sees a lot of likes, and it'll start sending other people to join the Straw Hat Wavy Pirates. Look at this item I never picked up over here. 216 or 21,600 Geld. It's called Gold, but it's literally spelled the same way money spelled in German, only you replace the A with an E, and it's Geld, so that's what I call it. I could have sworn there was supposed to be an extra dude in here, man. An extra like praying mantis somewhere. I guess not. Let me see if I can build her weapon. Hit that goddamn like button, bro. Like it stole something. That's how you gotta hit it. Hit it like it stole something. You gotta hit that like button like it's that nigga in 2nd grade with the yo mama jokes. The one that you wanted to beat up, but you was too scared to get hurt in a fight, bro. So you just let him rock. That's how you gotta hit that like button. Like it's that nigga in 2nd grade, bro. Alright, let's see if now I can make my last weapon. Let's go, we got it. Let's see if this guy sells armor. Nah, all this armor this dude got's gonna make me weaker. I need some of these. I know for a fact I need some of these. I'm gonna have to, like, believe it or not, Drex, I've been pushing through this game off of sheer brute strength and skill beating the enemies.
Have you guys?
Cause some of them you could equip some stuff to, like, make you resistant to them, but I don't believe in that shit.
This shall suffice.
I just go in and fight the enemies till the last enemy. If that nigga kicks my ass a lot, I'm gonna look up what I have to make to resist that dude. Excuse me. I would hit it like that, bro, but I just had the most awesome breakfast this morning, man. Shout outs to Seatown with the Dominican Mango and shit. And why am I stuck in this area? I'm just gonna fast travel, bro. Where do you guys want me to go? Oh, I can't fast travel, matter of fact. I just gotta walk. You see how I was talking about the exploration in this game? There's really nothing here to discover. No NPC that's gonna teach you a skill that you don't know. Like in the Brave Fencer Musashi games. Like for real, Final Fantasy VIII is a game that's not that great, but comes a lot to mind with RPGs for me, because it was my first like RPG for real. And it's like in FF8, the camera was way more back and you would see your party members running behind you too. I'm not sure why they don't have the 4 of you that are in the main party running around and then the 2 that are in the background. All they could have been pretended from the start is, oh, we're gonna hide just to make sure nobody ambushes you guys. Since in the party, once you go into a fight anyways, those characters are in the background. Like, they had the perfect excuses to make this game better, but I don't know, man. I do not think this is like one of the best games I've ever played. I could say that. Is it one of the best looking? Probably, but this game has hella pop-ins too. I see a lot of people talking about how great this game is, but I haven't seen King Thrash fucking go in and freaking break this game down like he does to the Xbox games and like break, oh, this game had a pop-in right here, and right there was another pop-in. Que lo que gre, dale like, loco, dale like. Dale un manoplazo al like. See, and this is one of the bigger areas in this game, because this area actually offers a lot of rooms, but I can't even jump down there and find a secret hidden item or none of that. My bad, Sameho and my job came in my area with all these hard drives. Good luck. If you want to get back at him, I wouldn't suggest doing this, but I would put a magnet on his hard drives. Bad things happen.
I thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just ended up finding more questions.
You can say that again. And now we have more problems to fix too. Like figuring out how to reform Lenegis.
That can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates to deal with as it is. Like figuring out who's really running the show on Rena.
Yeah. Which is why we're going to the Renan homeworld.
We about to go to Rena. We going to Rena.
The person responsible for all this, the Red Woman.
We about to find an abandoned planet.
The answers have to be there.
Tell that nigga he better grab some SSDs, bro. We in 2022.
So, what do we do first when we get there?
We know nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive. We should get a feel for how things are on the ground before we take any serious steps.
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to face is an attack.
If we come across a capital, we should... What?
Uh-oh. Is she gonna do a Big Bang attack? She thinks she's Vegeta. You saw her, bro? Look at her. She thinks she's about to do a Big Bang attack. What the hell are y'all doing? Teletransporting me? I like her haircut though, bro. She got a cold ass haircut. She got the illest widow's beak in the game. Bro, they just teleported me.
Damn! The hell just happened?
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
She's sending us to the middle of the sun, bro.
The ship's
Not even the surface. She's sending us straight to the middle of the sun.
That's bad, right?
Quite bad. We've lost control of the ship.
Is all of this the Red Women?
Yo, Dohalim is the best looking character in this
Finish
game.
us off
Free.
before we can land?
Everyone, look there!
Dohalim looks like he's about to pop up. Like, hold up, let me watch this cutscene first. Yo, this planet is hollowed out, bro. Rena's a fake ass planet. What the hell? Alright, freaking Dohalim look like he's about to be like, do you remember the time? Oh,
And it appears Lenegis is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegis are all right?
We can only pray that they are.
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already? When is this going to end?
when we kill them, Alphen, that's when.
The Flower of Oblivion.
With everything that's happening, we need to get back to Lenegis. Is the ship still offline?
Unfortunately, yes. Even more so than when it lay dormant.
Can you fix it?
Starships are extremely complex machines. One wrong move while we're out here in space could very well cost us our lives.
So what? We're just stuck inside here, floating around? For how long?
Until the end of time.
We've made it all this way, and now we're stuck here? We're watching Dana die before our eyes, and we have no choice but to sit here and starve to death?
Law, calm down.
You wasting your
I was
enemy.
worried here.
Your energy, Law.
Right. Sorry.
It's still too early to give up. There has to be a way to get out of this.
Alphen.
Now
Those
what?
sweet
It's
memories.
back online?
Where I used to be.
Something is pulling
And
our ship in
girl,
towards it.
no matter what you say, you will never begin. Do you remember the time, oh my, that we fell in love? Do you remember the time when we first met, girl? We gotta destroy this planet. I don't know how.
We managed to get moving, but where are we?
It looks like Lenegis in here.
Do you think we might run into more Renans here? Or those red women?
Perhaps. Someone brought us here. The question is, who?
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile. Still, why would anyone want to bring us here?
Hey, Shion!
If they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship. We should see where this path takes us.
Kisara, as always, making this game great again. Here we go with the cutscenes.
Shion, just in the nick of time. Here, lend me a hand while I...
No!
What the... Oh, right. The thorns.
He wanted to.
My bad.
No, I'm the one who should apologize.
You should have asked for permission first, bro.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without putting your foot in your mouth?
Seriously, it's fine. I'd rather that than people feeling like they're walking on eggshells around me. Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about not touching you guys, not the other way around.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask. Not being able to touch people, does it ever get lonely sometimes?
All the time.
I guess I never really thought about it in those terms. It was either accept it for what it was or come undone. Before long, it was just part of my everyday reality. I think I even forgot there was another way to live. Which isn't to say I didn't feel alone. I did. Always.
So numb to your reality, you couldn't even recognize it as loneliness? I don't know how you managed.
It's fine. I know I'm not alone anymore.
But I can't even touch you. No way of lending you a shoulder when you're down? Even Alphen.
I appreciate the concern. Until I get rid of these thorns, I guess I'll have to put up with it just a little longer. But not forever. Alphen promised me that. Maybe it'll be soon, maybe it won't be. But either way, the day will come. And I'll be ready when it does.
Yeah, just hang in there. One day, we'll share a big warm hug. You'll see. I promise. Boo!
Ah! What the? Are you out of your mind? This isn't the time for games, Rinwell.
Oh, come on. How am I supposed to resist with you looking all jittery like that?
It's called experiencing feelings appropriate to the situation. You ought to try it sometime.
Yeah, but seeing you act all nervous, you're making me start to feel nervous too.
Oh, sorry.
Staying alert is important, but too much caution can cloud your judgment. Try to strike a balance.
We're back.
I still can't get over what we saw happening outside the starship.
Yeah, our planet's really not doing too hot right about now.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana, so I figured it was just another round planet like ours. Still though, I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that. And what's the deal with that giant flower coming out of it?
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue. It's so surreal. It looks like a broken egg or something.
Rena and Dana. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies that floated amongst the stars in the heavens. But to think that they lied to us not only about the Sovereign and the Crown contest, but also the form of our own planet.
Dohalim.
Okay, who's the wise guy that summoned us here?
Another
That
cutscene.
beam of light joining Dana and Rena. It was the Renan side that it first came from, right?
That's what it looked like. And then the Danon side responded.
Perhaps it was some kind of directive from the Renan homeworld? To reawaken the Wedge and Lenegis?
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all. But what are they after? Is it really worth going through all this trouble just to steal Dana's energy?
Try to stay calm. With so many factors we don't understand, dwelling on it won't get us anywhere. What is it?
No, it's just... Zephyr once told me the same thing. So much for me making progress, huh?
You made it this far, didn't you? You notice something, you change it. That's all anyone can do. But you can't stand still in the meantime.
Alright, gameplay, finally. Where the hell am I supposed to go? I guess I was at the upper level. That door's closed. I need to close this because the sun is getting in and bothering my eyes.
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that?
Oh yeah, I need a repair sign about my camera too.
It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
It's
It
Alphen!
doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
Is that a touch
That
screen?
is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk.
What are you?
Hevrect 35.
That means there's another 34 of y'all.
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
We were kidnapped. Next thing we knew, we were here.
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
Oh, this nigga's
What did you do to
digitizing us.
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh goody, more riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The red women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasol, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's great spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this great spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it, without question, throughout the ages.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this great spirit be the true sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back
Man,
up.
ain't nobody
You're telling us
controlling
this
that
great
bitch
spirit
nigga
of yours is the
Volran.
one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but
Let's assume that what Hevrek 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off
I
from
can't
both
believe you
planets.
remember this
Even if
name.
we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's great spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegus are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
Yo, the
Great
sun is so
Spirit's
rude,
desire
bro.
is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dana?
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegus was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renasalma.
Correct. A change in plan was
That's
required
what's
to
up,
ensure
man.
the
They trying to
spirit channeling
promote you.
success. However, recreating the Renis Alma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dana.
This is all happening because of me.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrecht 35?
Not looking
First,
to work somewhere
to
else. So
confirm
it was
the
like
identities of you,
they
my
interviewed you
unexpected
over the
visitors.
phone then?
Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be
Shit,
likely
I gotta
to accept
freaking-
my request.
You just reminded me after
A
this, I
request?
gotta update my
But look at
resume and
someone like
apply
you
to
want us
somewhere
to.
I was supposed to apply a little bit
I
ago.
wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
My current job
I'm sorry,
sucks.
did you just ask us to kill your master?
Yes.
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly?
Kisara!
World? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall...
Yo,
fix
this
your
nigga just gave us the illest ultimatum.
Just how many of you are there?
If we agree to help, you'll fix our
I am
shit.
the only Helganquil who inhabits
If we
Date
don't,
Basil.
then we stay here forever.
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
Alright, let me close this thing properly, because this sun is bothering my eyes. Alright, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. This dude decided to not talk to us anymore, and he also said that, he's also said, bro, I'm only gonna help you if you decide to say yes to my proposition. If not, y'all can just stay in the ship with me until the end
You
of
can't
time.
seriously be buying anything that creature told us, right? I mean, it's practically blackmailing us into doing its dirty work.
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it. How about you, Dohalim? Were you able to follow it at all?
At the very least, everything it said about the Renan Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day, this whole chain of events comes back to astral energy. That being said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dana, I suspect I would find its story much more difficult to believe.
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dana completely destroyed.
But why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that creates and shapes the world.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is. We're not going to let it destroy Dana.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renans? How do they factor into all this?
Now that you mention it, and all that talk, Hevric 35 never even brought up the Renans once. And as for the Helganquil, we never did find out just what they are either.
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on. Maybe the others will shed more light on the matter. Let's find out.
Is there an item back here? This is my whole thing about exploration. We're on a giant ship and there's not a box in here somewhere. They got Renans in here?
Who are they?
What is it?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
Are you a Renan?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can. But be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that we don't want to miss.
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevric 35 when he mentioned that Overseer.
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant Dana and Rena, do you?
There isn't anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around here.
Look at how these characters just loaded in, bro.
Have you
That
guys
shit
lived
was
up here in
weird.
Dig Faisal with Hevric 35 for a long time?
Yes. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head just how long it's been, though. We regularly go into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten rather out of whack over the years.
Why are you all even here in the first place?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegis from the outside.
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location due to an accident.
Oh, it was terrible. Apparently there was some kind of accident, and when help never arrived, they presumed the entire facility had been destroyed.
And you've been working for Hevric 35 ever since?
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the facility, but then it turned out the Overseer was there all along.
What do you mean?
The Helganquil have the technology to cloak themselves around us Renans. As long as they don't do anything obvious, a Renan won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
Which would explain why Shion and I failed to notice the Red Women previously. Do they employ an astral art of some sort?
I haven't been able to scientifically confirm it for myself, but from what I understand, the type of cloaking they use is primarily achieved through mechanical means. In addition, they also used hypnosis devices and information control to get us to do what they wanted without being detected. It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary conflict. I have to imagine that's how Lenegis is still run.
But aren't the Helganquil themselves controlled by the Great Spirit? If so, why aren't Renans affected by it in the same way?
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helganquil, so they had to employ other means to manipulate us Renans.
You act like this didn't affect you personally. If I was you, I'd be mad as hell at their deceptions.
I mean, sure, I was surprised when I first found out about it, but it happened so long ago.
Hevric 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though. Why is that?
Who can say? My guess is it just got bored, or maybe even a little lonely.
Don't you want to go back home to Rena or Lenegis? Our ship is going to be fixed pretty soon. You could ride with us.
No way. If we went back after knowing the truth, they'd either just brainwash us or purge us outright. After all this time, there's nothing to be gained from going back. We've all agreed it'd be best to simply stay here and watch everything unfold instead. Things are going just fine with the Overseer. Not that it'll be around much longer. It can't extend its life any further. That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of the plan before it passes on, though.
Thank you for answering our questions.
The Overseer. The Seer Over.
Can we talk to you for a few minutes?
Sure. It's going to be a while before the two planets undergo their next shift, so I can talk until then.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helganquil.
You mean the Overseer's species? I can't say I know much about them.
Well, for starters, where'd they come from?
Where else? From Rena, obviously.
From Rena? Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the Renans down there?
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first place.
Excuse me?
Y'all are all
I thought
Danans,
the Overseer explained
motherfuckers. I knew it.
Apparently not.
Please, tell us more.
Well, in a nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Danans by the Helganquil.
Dohalim just took a step back.
But if that's true, then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
There aren't. But there are Helganquil. That's what the name literally means in their language. People of Rena.
But what need could they possibly have to create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquil are on the verge of extinction, yes? In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all die. They gathered Danans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there. That's why we, as their descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
Let me get this straight.
That means Rinwell is
Renan.
Renan.
Danans that the Helganquil kidnapped?
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use Astro Arts on Dana now.
Helganquil technology is truly amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less invasive than your conventional surgeries. They have these tiny machines that are practically invisible.
Nanotech.
Into their bodies and...
Enough. You needn't tell us anymore.
How can you speak so calmly about all of this?
I guess I can see how, when viewed in a certain light, their ways may sound grotesque. But if you ask me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance. If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be it. Anyway, the Helganquil are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers just about everything worth knowing.
I see. Thanks for filling us in.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Dohalim.
Just when I think we're getting to the
Dohalim's in
bottom of it all,
denial.
some new
He
revelations
just told you the
smack us in
Renans
face.
always existed. Those alien things are the real
This is our
Renans.
last revelation for a while.
Alright, we got one more dude to talk to. What's
Do you
up,
know
dude?
anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegis to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient. Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy so it would be compatible with Rena.
And that's where Lennigus
I take it
comes
the
in.
solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
We have a winner. However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans in Helganquil that day. For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renis Alma, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dana, and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
And the crown contests began.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishaps. A new Sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were unfounded.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dana. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
Hevric 35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage. Is that true?
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes, and yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time. Who knows what shape their minds are in?
It feels like
Another
our whole world has been
cutscene.
turned upside down. Is there anything we know that's still true at this point?
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
Let's take a moment to gather ourselves. I know all of this is a lot to believe and take in, but I think it's fair to say that we've found the answers we've been looking for. Does everyone agree?
Agreed. Though I'll
Agreedido.
admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Ren.
Helganquil created the Renans, who went on to invade and rule over the Danans.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Danans all along.
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Maybe too much, even. We should probably take it easy and rest our minds a bit. Why don't we all take some time to think things over, before we decide on our next move?
That's a good idea, Kisara. If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dana on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, we need to be completely sure of ourselves. So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger, so we should be okay. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's minds too.
Sounds good. Let's go find them.
Man, I hate it
Down
when
their
they
own way,
disband my party like
Let's hit up
this.
each spot.
Alright, I guess we'll talk to Kisara.
Oh, it's you two. Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
Do?
He who? Oh, you mean Dohalim, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all, but he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans and the Great Spirit and all that?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it. As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Dahnans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans. So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is, well, I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helganquil and the Great Spirit are the ones who are responsible. But at the same time, I realize that not every Dahnan is necessarily going to believe that either.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Dahnans have against the Renans is long, and understandably so. And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same, yeah, I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Even just among the Dahnans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance, then we'll be in a truly good place.
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the existing conflicts we have.
Yeah. It'd be nice if one day people could learn to get past their hatred like Rinwell did.
It's no small task. We can't pretend like the past didn't happen and ask people to forget their very real pain and suffering.
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that
Oh
they do.
my god, these cutscenes, bro. Let me fight somebody.
In a worst case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway. Not just that, but to also embrace each other's pain in a sense.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to healing those wounds is to put aside that hatred. It won't be achieved through reasoning, but I think it's a good first step, if nothing else. And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our planet isn't going to get wiped out.
Kisara, you talk too much. Again, I didn't find you again, bro. This is the first time I found you.
Everything we thought we knew. It was all just a fabrication that the Red Women, no, that the Helganquil made up.
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevrek 35 has told us, that is.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgen too.
But if Hevrek 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one massive lie, does that mean everything we've done up until now has been pointless?
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now. That's all.
Really? Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together. And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one. End of story.
Make one, huh? I see. Right then. Count me in.
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Dahnan mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Dahnans again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dahna anymore, right? I know it's not as simple as all that, but Danans probably won't be so quick to let their guards down. And there might be Renans who still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't surprise me. 300 years of bad blood and prejudice isn't going to be an easy thing to overcome.
Yeah, I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in your heart once you let it in. But even so, I was still able to change. And if I can change, so can anyone else. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Danan and a mage to help bring both sides together.
Rinwell.
That great spirit worries me too, though. Dana's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire planet?
Now that you mention it, Everett 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up. Maybe they don't know either.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dana's still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
Girl, you need to shut
We'll
up.
keep it safe no matter what.
BRB. And I am back.
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this. Believe me.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum? Once my memories started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting for.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen. All I can remember thinking was, when's this guy gonna get his act together?
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad, and running away from the truth. That was no way to live. And I've tried to stay strong, my way. But all this talk about other races and the world ending, if I can be honest with you guys, it's just all too much for me to handle right now.
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but maybe the key is not to worry too much about the big stuff right now.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns, for obvious reasons. But I never really opened up to anyone about them.
God damn.
And when I
man,
realized
these
my visions
cutscenes
pointed
be
to a
boring.
threat that was bigger than me, I didn't know what I should do, or who to tell. But that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important. I just had to open up and listen.
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about. Yeah, I think you're right.
The thing that's most important, what I really care about, all I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me, to fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Not everyone is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the first place. Sound good?
Yeah, I think it does. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
Okay, one more person. Dohalim.
I apologize for making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you as well, Shion. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
To say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself. What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dana, right?
Correct.
I just finished
Even if we
the
stop the Great
shower.
Spirit from annihilating Dana.
Nah, this is
problems
another
will still
cutscene
remain.
right now.
Putting aside the untold state
One
that
of the
Rena may
many
be in,
cutscenes that this
if
game
we do
has
not
put
truly
me
belong
through.
there, you will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis or come down to Dana, huh? And right now, Lenegis might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Danans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans. Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain ardent dissidents.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way. Isn't that what you hope to achieve on Lenegis, after this is all over?
Indeed. I have fully accepted the burden of that responsibility. In that regard, I remain determined. On that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alphen.
Oh? What is it?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator so that the Renans can live on Dana peaceably. As the one and only Blazing Sword, I suspect the Danans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Yes. I realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Danan society without any bloodshed. That is why...
You're the same as ever, Dohalim.
Is it too much?
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
You're too kind. I can see you were raised well.
That's some high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
You don't even need to ask. Of course I will.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank God the cutscenes are over.
Well, it
Oh
sounds
my
like
God,
everyone's learning
another
from their
one.
past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Shion? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dana. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. When you consider the Helganquil's part in all this, it's been even longer than that. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it, before it was too late. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call, is a mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me, a Dahnan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other. Oh, maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering. She said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people, even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to. I know that better than most, thanks to these thorns.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain. But if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all truly understand each other. I'm there with you, Shion. I too want to protect the world we live in, and all the people we care about. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud to live in, and I'm going to fight for it.
Whoa there, Savior Girl. We're here to save you too, you know.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I want to live, and that's the honest truth.
Finally.
Well, is everybody ready to do what needs
Another
to be
one.
done?
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dana's still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, then so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world. And it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Shion.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Shion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Shion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending destruction, then...
Shion's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
While the main body resides in Rena.
Shion.
Shion.
If
Shion!
these thorns really are a part of Rena's great spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
Shion.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome.
It's still
in their own
going,
right.
bro.
This is an altogether greater challenge.
This is why I get
than
bored
6.
playing this game so easily.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Hevric 35 has been observing the great astral spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is.
Great, another cutscene.
Our minds are made up. Let's go give Hevric 35 our...
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renis Alma stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine. If it needed us before, it doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell do they think they are?
More importantly, who do they think we are? We might not even factor into their list of concerns.
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships that people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Wait, explode?
In any case, if we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not Lenegis. The people there will be fine, I'm sure of it.
Right.
Okay, let me make sure there's nobody out here I gotta heal. This door is conveniently closed. The great astral spirit. Are any of you guys hurt? No, all of you people are fine. Let's go upstairs. Oh, not upper level, middle level, sir. That's where you meant to go.
Do you have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first.
You don't have a choice,
You're asking
brother,
us to
man.
fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the Great Spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Renis Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renis Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die, that we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational.
That's...
It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Renis Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns could be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renis Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Renis Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
Shut the fuck up!
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
Alphen's big mouth kept us here.
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renis Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
Bingo.
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower, then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
It will vanish too.
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Havrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Man.
We got a trophy, ladies and gentlemen.
Talk like a normal person. I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry.
Oh my god, we got another cutscene too,
Is the
bro.
Renis Alma really our only hope against the Great Spirit? There has to be another way, right?
Shion's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. And with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrecht 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details. So assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
Oh my god, this thing doesn't say what game I've been playing this whole time, bro. You would think it would just save it from my last stream. Alright, so is my ship repaired? First, we need to stop on Dana to show somebody my book. Another cutscene. Woo, 2 hours worth of cutscenes, bro. I've only had like 3
You still
fights.
thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before.
Man, can you just grab her hand or
like the
something,
sound of
bro?
Yeah, I think I do too.
Come on, though, Halim. Another cutscene.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk
Cutscene.
about?
Tales of the Cutscenes, the game.
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle.
Oy.
So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before. About whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So...
God damn it, man.
Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's Great Spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Heverick 35 might know the answer. But you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No. What were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
And now another cutscene, right? God damn
You
it,
sure you
bro.
don't want to get some rest?
Yo, Madrex, bro, I'm gonna need you to send a letter to the Tales publishers.
I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Shion?
Same as you. Still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories
It's called
back.
Destiny,
I'd still be a
Alphen.
faceless slave, like is not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do.
No.
Like Hevrect 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the Blazing Sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the Blazing Sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least,
You know
it
what's
has to be
funny?
worth
I
a
never
try.
used the blazing sword besides for knockdowns.
You can't be
I don't
serious.
charge up my sword to
forgotten
attack
everything that
people.
Listen, the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah. It's
I
a
promise to kill you.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Dummy.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before.
Don't touch my face, girl. You can touch my hands.
But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Wireless controller disconnected. That's how long these cutscenes have been going on, bro. That's 15 minutes worth of cutscenes.
Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Are you ready to return to Dana and beat a couple side missions?
Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far.
That is
We will
crazy,
save our
bro.
worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last...
I don't mind the cutscenes. Is they just pummel you with too many of them at one time, bro.
Everything is in working order.
They need to spread them out a little bit better.
35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrect 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
Well, ships usually don't go past surfaces of our planet, so that makes sense.
Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
She's been wanting to touch freaking whatever his name is,
As
Young
Shaman,
Cell, the whole time.
Your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
That's a great question.
We exist because others have
Destiny.
entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
Man, can this mother effer stop asking questions?
To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
Controller reconnected.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
Can we stop at Dana
Give that
first?
warp drive a spin.
Because I want to go show somebody this book to see what I get for beating their mission. Guess not. Unless... a barren wasteland.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the Hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world? The entire
This
ocean
whole
is
word, it says.
that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as
Oh
vibrant
my
as
god,
Dana is.
bro. Let me play the game.
After being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
Yep.
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there.
From the
Let's take a
teleporter.
look.
Can we go back to Dana?
So this is Rena. This is where
Oh
everything
my
began.
god, another cutscene, bro. What the hell?
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
You
What
would
do you
drown.
mean, what would happen? you'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something.
Another cut scene.
So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Rena's Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Rena's Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up.
My God.
Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
what do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renans, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands.
She said somebody being good with their
Differences,
hands,
so much as
bro.
Characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day,
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
Thank you. Whoever Jesus it is that stopped the cutscenes, man. We can't get back in our shit. God damn it. Berg Volcano. Let's go. Let's go see if this is the book that this lady's been wanting to see forever, man. Oh my God, another cutscene, bro.
Hey, I just realized something.
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No, I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not.
I don't think it was
usually.
worth a
Hey,
cutscene
Kisara,
really
well,
well.
I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking maybe meat.
Get him, Hoodle.
What did I do?
It just used
Oh,
peck
now you
attack.
want to listen. Keep pecking, Hoodle.
Peck, I told you it used peck.
Seriously, what the
Black
hell?
Blitz, what's good, bro? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the cutscene stream, bro. Cause all I've been doing is watching
When you think about
cutscenes
it,
this whole
we've taken
stream.
out a lot of Zoogles. Like a
I'm
whole
tired
lot.
of the cutscenes at
You can
this
say that
point.
again. If one thing's for
This
certain,
is why I
this
get
world
bored
is that
playing this
wherever we
game.
go,
It's just
we'll
like
always end
50
up bumping into
cutscenes
them.
they dump on you at
Isn't it
once.
weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of then is that the
Yup,
feral
we
ones
playing
must be
Tales of
reproducing
Arise.
on their
We're
own.
almost done with the
There's
game,
also
luckily.
no organized effort on our part to hunt them down.
After
so
this is
difficult
gonna
to fully
be
exterminate them.
most likely Resident
Exterminate
Evil
them?
8.
Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zoogles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zoogles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zoogles, and then we let them go. And
Yeah,
now
I've
we
only
kill them
gotten
because
into
they're
like
a threat.
3 fights in the
We really have
whole
at least
2.
the
I've been
very
streaming
worst,
for 2
huh?
hours, and it's
I hope
been
we
like
find
an
a way to be able to
hour.
live side by side
It's
with them
been
one
2
day.
hours worth of
It's a nice
cutscenes
thought,
for real.
but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed
You
to
about
do?
to be streaming
Aside
later,
from the
Black
strays that
Blitz.
have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
Don't forget to
If we have
smack that
distinct
like
territories
button,
that
Black
didn't
Blitz.
overlap, that might
Smack
reduce
it
the
like it
danger they
stole
pose.
something.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zoogles aren't so different after all.
No more cutscenes. Thank you, Lord. RN cutscene Jesus or whatever you call yourself. Menencia, let's go to the library. Probably at night because of school. That's cool. I'll tune
Sure
in.
is good to be back in the pleasant climes of Menencia. Especially after the extremes
Another
of some of the other
cutscene.
regions we visited.
Definitely. Your country is beautiful.
You do me an honor. However, this place was never mine to own.
I didn't mean it that way. Though, I guess technically you weren't born here either. Native or not, that doesn't change the feelings you had for the place. If I were you, I'd try to take a little pride in people's compliments.
Allow myself to feel pride, huh? That sounds like no easy task.
Nothing sounds easy when you overthink things the way you do. It must be exhausting.
He's always worrying about something. It's probably
This
what
was
keeps
supposed to
him
be
all
like an
detailed.
hour stream
That's
too,
just the
and
way he
like
is.
we've barely gotten
so
to
we
play the
noticed.
game.
Let's change the
They
subject,
keep
shall
showing
we?
us these
It's a
cutscenes,
wonder
and
so
if
many
you
things
miss these
coincided to bring us
cutscenes,
here.
you won't
Alpha's
see them
awakening,
again.
Shion's
And you
decision
need
to
like
revolt,
300 of
the
them
Danon
to
uprising
get
in
a
Calabria,
trophy.
the crown contest.
On top of the regular
Sputtering
cutscenes they
throws.
shown me.
Zephyr's being in the right place at the right time. The fact that you happen to be a lord just as this was all going on.
It's almost as if we were brought together by design. By someone who wanted to bring down the system.
No, enough Hand of Destiny talk. We did this on our own steam. It's our responsibility to see it through.
Did Law just utter a pearl of wisdom?
I do think about things, you know. Just what do you take me for exactly?
Honestly, I always sort of pegged you as a likable dolt.
What the hell makes me a dolt, you
Yup,
dolt?
basically.
I mean, she did say...
Oh yeah, it is a whole
likable,
anime series.
didn't
They
she?
got like 10 other games or
Let's
something
refrain
like
from
that.
poking this particular Zoogle any further.
But I'm not
Some
going back
lessons
to
just
play.
can't
This
be
is my
taught.
first Tales
Not
of
adults
game,
anyway.
and honestly, I'm not interested in playing the other ones. Look at that, another cutscene, bro. I just want to talk to some lady
What's
behind
your
the
secret
door.
for putting up with Dohalim? I don't know how you managed to deal with him.
Secret? Oh, I don't think it's as difficult as all that, really.
Could have had me fooled. Anyone who waxes lyrical on the aesthetic qualities of cactus thorns is a step too far for me.
And those poetic flourishes he sneaks into regular conversation? How am I supposed to react?
He likes the sound of his own voice, that's for sure. I say let him have his fun. No need to try and understand anything he says.
Has he always been like that?
Yup.
He didn't seem as on edge all the time back in Menancia. Though he was my superior back then. So who's to say what I didn't see?
The Lord of Cislodia hid in plain sight while a crony posing as him carried out all his business. What if the Lord...
Not even the goddamn cutscene, bro, where you're freaking throwing the Pokeball to get the shiny Piplup took this much.
In all his flamboyant, circumloquentious
Even me
glory.
seeing that cutscene like the almost 9,000 times I had to see it. It was more bearable than all of these cutscenes at once. 2 hours worth of
Probably never had
cutscenes.
anyone to speak to on an equal basis.
It wouldn't surprise me. Having you guys around, having a family in a way, must be what's helped him change.
A little heads up on some of his eccentricities would have been nice.
It's those eccentricities that make him who he is.
Thank you, God. I bet you if I go back to every other city, there's gonna be cutscenes too. Alright, where's this chick at? Let's see if this was the book you wanted to look at. Yes, it was. Come on, it wasn't the book. Damn it, lady. I'm gonna just go back to Calaglia real quick to see if we get more cutscenes real quick. We're back in Calaglia.
We've reached our destination.
Let's see the cutscenes.
Let's see what's going on around here.
Where is this guy
There
at?
might be someone who could use our help.
There he goes. This dude right here, I thought he was gonna be part of the team when I begun the game.
Hey.
Blah 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 blah. Mixed feelings. Good morning, Gary Oak Blue.
Huh?
We are finally getting to play the game after 2 hours worth of cutscenes.
Got it.
This dude wants me to fight a Zoogle. There's like 2 dudes that want me to fight a Zoogle right now. Because this dude wants me to fight a Zoogle that somehow was level 50. Now that's the strong one. Let's go see how strong this Zoogle is.
You finally made it.
Over so soon?
Over so soon. Where the hell's this Zoogle at, bro? Oh, I I gotta climb that ladder to get up there. Getty Oak Wood Blue, if you would be as kind as to hit that like button. Like it stole something. That would be very much appreciated. Alright, so this thing is up here somewhere. Oh nah, I'm at the wrong ass spot. Oh!
Guess I misread the landing.
Is this the barrier that's keeping the Zoogle in that Nath mentioned?
Looks like it. Our Zoogle pal should be on the other side.
This barrier
Alright,
is weird.
come on, let
It
me
looks
skip
old
this.
and half finished. Plus, he said it was okay to break.
I mean, we won't need it anymore once the Zoogle's gone, right? So what does it matter?
Save right here.
Did they really think that barrier was enough for a Zoogle like that?
It was.
What's going on with your connection, bro?
Really? So that's the Zoogle, huh? This should be a piece of cake.
Don't get careless, Law.
Yikes! Don't make eye contact with it.
Man, this thing is stronger than that other Zoogle, but I'm gonna try to beat it though. You are not just gonna summon magic on me, bro. Hold that hard knockdown. This thing hits too hard. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to beat this thing.
The enemy wields art too. See what I can do.
See about that. Here's a healing art. It looks like you got this one covered.
Yeah. This thing is a little bit too strong for me right now. I am gonna go... Oh, okay. So you're not on Wi-Fi. You got unlimited internet or something, bro? I don't want you to waste all your internet. And then it's gone for when you do need it. Let me tear this down. And we are gonna go back to... We're gonna go to another town just to see... This is another fight with a strong Zoogle right here. I'm gonna go to another town just to make sure that I don't get no more cutscenes.
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.
Yup, look, another cutscene. That.
Hey, Rinwell.
What the
Tell
hell,
me about your
man?
parents. What were they like?
They were kind. That's the part I like to remember. They could also be strict, though, especially when it came to magic. I never understood why I had to work so hard to learn magic. Why we couldn't just be done with it and live openly like everyone else.
You got the Metro PCS? I know they existed still. But the thing is about them, all of those dudes that claim they got unlimited service, you only really get like 23 gigabytes of high-speed data, and then they throttle your service down, so you get slower internet afterwards. It's still unlimited, but it's way slower.
I've got that training to thank for being alive.
I know how that feels.
The first time we met.
Yeah, I pay around the same amount
Stop me from kicking my dad's
for
ass.
my service.
You could have done anything else. You could have ignored it. So, why?
Yeah, I guess something about Zephyr reminded me of my own father.
You don't say. So, did your pops and mine look a lot like each other?
Not really. Not at all.
Oh, word, you in the car? You driving,
I
bro?
don't explain it. I just felt a resemblance, I guess.
Wow. Well, I won't pretend I understand, but I'm glad. Your dad must have been a great guy.
He was.
Another cutscene.
Maybe it's the snow soaking up all the sound. but something about Cyslodia always feels mysterious to me. Solemn, almost.
When it comes to solemnity, I'd say our own Octalina Palace is no slouch.
I won't argue with you there. Still, that azure tint of the shadows on the silvery white snow, it has a certain indescribable quality.
Indeed. It was boorish of me to even suggest such a comparison.
All I know is it's freaking cold. Still, more pleasant now that the locals aren't quite as frosty towards us.
Yeah, it's still unlimited, but
Excuse
they
me if I'm too
really
frosty for your
throttle
warm
your
stuff.
speed, bro.
Oh, come on.
I remember that
You
from
know
when I
didn't
used to
mean
work for
you.
Sprint.
Besides, really, I'm the one who...
How about we stop getting hung up on the past for a change? Take what you've learned and put it to use in the
It's
future
23
instead.
gigs of high speed, then they throttle you down to like lower speeds.
Better that than obsessing over it like a certain someone I know.
Kisara doesn't mince her words, does she?
I could say the same thing about one or two of the other women around here.
Tell me about it.
I think I'll refrain from commenting on this one.
Another one, man.
Poodle, I've got some dried fish for you. You want some?
Forget that. Doesn't some tasty red meat sound better, boy?
Hey! Stop
Poodle
trying to
just
coax
sounded
me
like
into
a
treats.
Pokemon, bro, like
Get
a
your own
Pidgeotto
adorable
or
sidekick
something.
if you're so desperate for one.
He appears to enjoy being the center of attention.
Funny how things change. He and Rinwell used to be joined at the hip, or shoulder to talon.
It's not just Hootle who's become more trusting. Isn't that so, Rinwell?
They do say pets and their owners act alike. I suppose since we've been together, I've done my share of coming out of my own shell too.
Well then, I guess with you and Hootle, that makes us all one big happy family.
Sometimes when I'm deep in thought, Hootle will come over and sit next to me. I only wish I could actually pet him.
Oh, you will someday. You won't believe how soft he is.
Wish I had that problem. I'm lucky if I can so much as look at old Featherbrain without him trying to claw me to ribbons.
Really? He seems tame enough around everyone else. Maybe it's just Hootle's way of establishing dominance?
That's dogs, not owls.
What's going on when Hootle pecks at you?
I don't know. Like when I'm talking to Rinwell, it's like he's trying to muscle me out or something. Unless...
Yeah, Hootle doesn't like
You don't suppose
law.
I'd make him
He's
jealous?
jealous.
Come again?
Ow! Ah, get off of me, you insecure fluffball!
I rather think they make a good comedic pairing.
Thank you, Lord RN Jesus, because I don't even know who to pray to make these cutscenes go away anymore.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Nice. No
Alright, what I'm gonna do now is... let's travel to another spot. Let's travel back to Calaglia real quick. Just to see if I get anything over there. If not, I'm gonna go to the two other places that might have
Finally.
cutscenes.
If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.
Look, got a cutscene.
I never realized before just how hot this place is.
I'm gonna be right back while this.
Fire.
Well, I'm gonna pause
only
this
just
cutscene real
noticing
quick.
Ah, yes.
I need to use the bathroom real quick. Yeah, the gameplay is cool. It's just, it's really too many cutscenes in the game, though. I'll be right back, bro. I'm back. 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 Yeah, the controller died earlier on me when I was watching these long
It's hard to believe
cutscenes.
I once worked in this soup, let alone helped spearhead a revolution.
And all with the mask concealing your face. You must have been very grimy beneath that.
Back then, we had our plates full enough dealing with constant abuse from our Renan overlords. It never occurred to me the air itself was oppressive in its own way. My head spinning just with the effort it takes to walk.
I think that's called heat stroke. You might want to take a sip of water.
You mean that water?
Speaking of water, I hope you guys been drinking your water today,
wouldn't
bro.
chance it without boiling it first.
Oh, I know. I'll go to the dock and fetch us some clean water.
Water alone won't suffice. He'll need to ensure his sodium levels are replenished as well.
In that case, let's see if we can rustle up some rock salt. Alphen, you go cool off in the shade for a while. Xion, stay and keep an eye on him.
And then there were two.
Bit of an overreaction, but it's still kind of them.
Maybe it's not.
I'm not sure whether you guys can see me again and hear me again or not, but like my OBS just stopped working for whatever reason. But it looks like I'm back though. Alright, we got the cutscenes in Calaglia out of the way. Let's go to the last two towns. I got Calaglia, Sislodium, and Nancia. We gotta go to Mahag Sar. Let's go to Nias. Yes. Yes.
We've reached our destination.
Let's go.
Everything okay there, big guy? You look kind of pissed.
I'll say. He looks like he wants to bite the head off something.
What's eating at you? Come on, Alphen. You're gonna bring us all down if you keep that ferocious scowl on.
Hmm? Oh, sorry. Do I really look that ticked off?
Yes, you do,
Yeah,
sir.
It
You
kinda
sound
makes you hard
hungry.
to talk to.
You look like
Well,
you need a Snickers,
what's bothering
bro.
you?
It's a pebble.
A pebble?
I'm not sure about how you two guys like to drink your coffee, but I drink my coffee black with no sugar.
Get you.
No sugar, no
Get on your
cream.
nerves, huh?
Yeah, it's barely bigger than a grain of sand. So how come it feels like I'm walking around on hot nails?
You know, maybe this is a crazy solution, but you could just take your boot off and give it a shake.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, of course. You're right. Phew. It's like I've been given a new lease on life. Thanks for the tip, Xion.
Seemed kind of obvious, but you're welcome. That's the trouble with windy places. All that fine debris ends up getting into your hair and clothes.
Alphen, is it just me, or have you become extra sensitive ever since getting your sense of pain back?
Now that you mention it, the other night at camp, there was a fly buzzing around that annoyed him so much, he unsheathed the blazing sword.
So much for sensitive. That's just being a Mr. Cranky Pants.
Nothing new on that front, then.
What's the matter, Alphen? You look a little tense.
It's nothing, really.
It's like a ritual.
He wants to get angry, but knows that
Good
doing so would
reminder,
only
you
prove our
Gucci.
point.
Thank you for letting me know the
building
stream's
frustration
stable
showing
again. I don't know
plainly on
what
his face.
happened, but my OBS just like
Would you
completely
stop analyzing
stopped
things for
working.
1 minute?
Point taken.
Do we get another cutscene here? Or is that it? That's all we're gonna talk about this town. Let me try traveling somewhere within the town. And traveling back. Black Blitz
Looks like we made it here
Samba.
in one piece.
I'm not fighting you. Well, let me just destroy you guys so the guys can have some gameplay.
Get in, get out!
By the power of God! Sword ring! Power of flame! Eat this! Without a trace!
Here I hope that was improved.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
Guys, I'm not sure what's going on. The stream's about to end in like 10 minutes
What do you think of that chick
anyways.
over there?
Doesn't look like she really works out.
I'm not talking about her muscles, you dummy.
We're gonna shut the stream down in like 12 minutes. My OBS keeps dropping. I'm not sure what's going on with it. We got one more town to visit. One more cutscene town. Oh, it looks like we got a mission over here. Let's go check out what they want me to do. Cigar. My lord, you've received a notice from Nochio. It says the wedding is to be held at Saxleo Temple.
Right.
Maybe we can go to their wedding after I beat the game.
Saxleo Temple.
To me, it feels like it'll be a better wedding if I already defeated the thing that's
Yeah, I guess I got a little carried away.
freaking
You think this is bad? You should
threatening us with doom.
Yeah. A word of advice. You might want to refrain from mentioning that stuff around girls. Ones without a military history especially.
Man, can you imagine Rinwell's face? She'd have a nervous breakdown.
I meant in general, but you sure mention her a lot, you know.
Huh? Oh, you know, she's always there, even when you least expect it. Springs to mind easily.
Either that, or maybe some part of
3 coffees a day. I can only have 1 coffee, and I don't drink coffee every day, but I can only have like 1 or 2. If I have too much coffee, I start feeling jittery.
Like I'd be interested in that know-it-all tomboy. I'm more about mature women. Someone more like Kisara.
You know, I used to be a tomboy too when I was Rinwell's age.
Look, it's not tomboys I have anything against. But come on, you've got to admit she can be a lot to handle.
Hey, I miss anything? What's all the fuss about?
Rinwell!
Thunderblade!
Ah! What the hell was that for?
A little birdie told me you were speaking about me behind my back. Whew!
From the looks of it, I'd say you've got yourself a rival.
It wouldn't be called the Spring of Youth without a little storm every now and then.
Hey, Shion. How are you and Alphen getting on these days?
That's a little out of the blue. Why do you ask?
Sorry, it's just... I don't know, I'm just curious, I guess. I mean, a lot's changed now he's got his senses back and all.
I suppose you're right. Well, to tell you the truth, if he'd been the way he is now back when I'd first met him, I probably wouldn't have gotten this involved. But then, if we hadn't met like we did, then I never would have experienced these feelings, so... I guess it's complicated.
I can imagine. I know it's not the same thing, but I know what it feels like to have someone you love who's out of reach.
Because of Miguel.
Alphen's still alive. It's not too late, you know. And after all, who can say what the future holds? I think if I were you, I'd take things as they come for now.
Besides, touch isn't everything. I've never touched you, Shion. But that doesn't stop you from knowing that I care about you, right?
That's true. But I do remember back when we first met, you made it plenty clear you weren't my biggest fan.
But that was a long time ago. There were lots of things I didn't understand back then. Not that that's the point.
Don't worry, I'm only teasing. I know what you mean. Thank you. And you're right. There are ways to convey your feelings besides just touching.
I'll say, cooking immediately springs to mind. And if it's someone's favorite dish, all the better. If there's something on your mind that you want to tell him, why not try appealing directly to his stomach?
You might just have a point. I'll give it a shot.
Uh-oh. If it's Alphen's palate you're appealing to, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us.
Well, friendship is about being supportive. Sometimes we just have to do our best and take one for the team, right?
No, another
Even
cutscene.
after staying here, we never truly got to the bottom of what makes this realm's citizens tick.
Renan and Danon are meaningless distinctions here. To have one's own mind is strictly forbidden. All that matters is blind obedience.
That might be the case now, but it can't always have been like that. There must have been something more.
Once, maybe. Question is that something still salvageable?
If it's not, we'll just have to make something new. No, not we. They've had enough foisted on them as it is.
You're right. It's time the people here had the chance to forge their own path. That's not to say it'll be easy, but it will be worthwhile.
These things take time to...
Whoa, somebody got shot.
An ambush?
Sorry. Sorry. There was a huge flying bug and I sort of shot without thinking.
A bug? You mean like a Zoogle?
Something tells me she would have shot it, whether it was a Zoogle or not.
This realm is teeming with humid forests. It's only natural insects would feel more at home here than Menancia. In fact, I seem to recall reading somewhere that bugs around these parts lay their eggs in human food to ensure healthy incubation.
Sounds like they're tougher than they look.
What about you, Alphen? Bugs don't creep you out?
I wouldn't say I was their #1 fan. Mind you, if times get desperate enough, I've been known to eat them.
Insects as a culinary option, you say? What kind of seasoning are we talking?
None. No seasoning.
I don't think he was talking about cooking them.
Hey, a lizard!
Another cutscene.
I never
By
thought about
God.
this until now, Alfred.
By the
Doesn't it
gods.
get hot wearing that armor all the time? You feel heat and cold again, don't you?
Admittedly, yeah. It can get pretty toasty in this thing.
Is it hard when your back starts to itch?
Oh, you bet. Plus, my shoulders get stiff wearing it, even if it's not all that heavy.
Kisara looks like she manages all right with her armor.
Armor takes a strong body and a stout heart.
Spoken like a true guardsman. Not that I really get what you mean.
I only get 2 cups a day. My mom really gives me an earful
What do you do
when I drink too much. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of coffee, but I think it does work. If I have more than 2 cups, like, bro, my nerves feel like they're going all over the
If you
place.
just walked around outside of your armor most of the time instead?
You never know when the enemy might attack. As tempting as it might be to take it off, it's not worth getting killed over.
So basically, you're screwed if you ever get attacked while taking a dump. Right, Rinwell?
Are you doing this on purpose?
Thank you, Lord R and Jesus, for no more cutscenes. Now, let me go back to Pelagian just one last time. Or to Mahag Sar. Let me go back to the Hidden Wharf to see if we got a cutscene.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Nope, no cutscene here. Let's see if we get one here. If we don't, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off to the planet we're supposed to go to. I'm gonna save the game. And we're gonna cut the stream. And we're gonna stream again either tomorrow or tonight. Actually, you know what I need to do? I need to buy stuff real quick before I do that. Where's there an inn at? Right here. Let's travel to Gadnith Heroes. Let's check out our items. Let's drop some money on some
Looks like
items.
we made it here in one piece.
Where's the guy that sells me stuff at? What the hell? I just spent all my money, bro. I'm broke now. I got a whole bunch of armor to sell though, for real. Alright, but at least I'm... Big Faisal. Guys, I am sorry, but my OBS keeps disconnecting. I'm about to end the stream, like, right now, too, anyways. I'm about to go to the planet and end the stream. Let me see what this dude wants.
Yes. Excuse me.
Really now?
What?
I see. Agree.
Very nice.
Tissue samples, what he wants.
Dohalim, the line of researchers is getting longer.
Perhaps. This shall suffice. Please, everyone.
All right. No pending missions, no nothing like that, right? All right, we're heading to... Let me make sure this guy don't got nothing to sell me that I can use. And then we're gonna head up to the stars.
We've reached our destination.
What you got for armor, man? Alright, so this dude has a couple armor sets I can buy. And now I'm broke, so I gotta sell him some of my old armor. I'm about to sell him all of this shit. All the stuff that makes me red, you're gonna buy, bro. See, that's neutral. She has it equipped. Don't tell me I sold my armor I have equipped, bro. Nah, it don't look like I sold what I have equipped. Good, because that would have been horrible if I did. Alright, let me sell the rest of this armor that I'm not using. Alright, bro, now I'm gonna buy the armor you do have for me. No good, no good, no good. Buy and equip. Buy and equip. Alright, we're all set. Sell me all the heavy treats you can sell me, my guy. Shit, I might fuck around and sell you all my old weapons. Let's keep the old weapons for now. We don't need them right now.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we're gonna call the stream a stream. I had a couple errors happen, which I think just resetting my PC should fix that on OBS. But thank you for everybody that tuned in. Shout outs to the shiny hunters in the chat, and I'm gonna go ahead and catch you guys later. Peace.